Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nightcap Knowledge. We'll be starting around 9 o'clock. Tonight we have a very special show. We've got Alvin Garrett, ladies and gentlemen, in the building, on the cast, on the podcast. But right now we're going to get into some tunes. This is one of your Jackson favorites, Mississippi Legends. This is Hollywood Luck and Treasure T. We're going to get a little nasty tonight. Y'all check it out. Y'all make sure you get your nightcap, put the kids to bed. It's almost that time. Nightcap Knowledge is on the way, 9 p.m.
Exclusive. Look, I'm happy to be a part of your history. It's these feelings that always happen to get to me instantly. I start thinking, projecting happiness mentally, like me on a ticket and you excited to get to me. Who the greatest? They mention me, and I'm their biggest fan. Always known to bring that bounce like I'm Timberland. They say they see me getting bigger, ain't that been the plan? Been across the nation and rocked, I'm Jackson's jigger, man. I ain't a mirror created, make me lesser than. I promise to make it work, never perfection, man. Only way I'll stop is for a better plan. Till then I'm aiming to put some platinum on my letter, man. Never settle in, anxious I could never be. If you ain't all in, the best you could do is let me free. Cause either way, greatness in my path. Get some money just to split with my staff. Homie, all I need is lights, camera,
Mississippi magic. Okay,
Mississippi monster, writing like I'm a prodigy. Businessman first, and I don't care for the apologies. My name in the rap,
yeah.
God does favors, and my reputation real cold like Lawrence Taylor.
It's Nightcap Knowledge.
Already know this, I'm the
You can hear the music.
Michael Jordan flute game, my skills still focus. Simply put, I'm Mississippi, that's personified. 16 bars from me will get them nullified. Jacktown legend had the juice since grade school. Then please don't make moves unless you really getting paid to. My mama told me nothing really phase you, cause life been hard, baby. Nothing should shake it.
Thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be getting started in just a moment.
Ain't nobody with me. Joking in my mindset, Batman in my spirit. Put it on a flash so that my real. All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action.
All right.
You bring the energy and I can bring the passion.
We appreciate everybody for tuning in for another episode of Nightcap Knowledge. Straight from my house. And as you can hear, I got young Jack in the background. Jackson, what's going on? I hadn't even had a chance to say what's up to Matt. Mac, what's up, man?
Jack.
He can't hear you, man. You in my ears. You're in my ears.
Okay.
So look, Mac, I know we got an awesome show planned out for tonight.
Yes, sir.
We got a few housekeeping things to get in order. We definitely want to let everybody know that, this is episode number 3, Nightcap Knowledge, and we are rated Black and Uncensored.
Correct.
And your hosts for this evening are Mac Epps, used to be the guy behind the booth out in the community, and because of COVID, we are right here at the house. And yours truly, DJ George Chuck. Not am I DJing from the club anymore. I'm wiping booties from the house, taking care of babies.
Yeah. Keeping it all the way real.
Yeah, man. Keep it all the way real, man. 100% real. Jackson, say hello. Get your fingers out your nose. All right. He ready to go night. But look, I know we have an awesome show tonight. We're going to talk about the census and what it means for the Black community. But we have a very special guest that we'll be bringing in just a moment and introducing. Mac, I'll allow you to do that.
Okay.
And then we definitely got to shout out all our sponsors. I Got It Made, Dollar Black, Eagle Eye, and Black Voters Matter. And we'll tell you why they thought enough of this broadcast, of this show idea, to put some funk behind it, right? And then we're going to get into Mac's Mental Health Minute. We got to talk about loneliness and isolation in the pandemic. We're also going to do a call to action, making sure that you and everybody out there in the internet land, or as we like to call it on Black with No Chaser, the internets. We want to call you to action to make sure that you're doing your part to make sure that all of us are counted in the census. Make sure that all of us are registered to vote, and then call you to action to do a little bit more prior to election day and on election day. So, Mac, let's go ahead and get into topic number 1, census and what it means for the Black community.
So the census and what it means to the Black community, we think about a lot of the programs. We think about a lot of the things that people in different areas really depend on throughout the years. And I say throughout the years because this is a 10-year process. Also, what it means is representation. For the state of Mississippi, we lost a seat in the congressional district, and it's due to census. So, and if you're looking at hoping of gaining a seat or being able to have more people that represent your issues or represent your needs base, you must do the census. The census is used to draw the boundary lines, which is called redistricting. So we need to make sure that we have the proper numbers and the numbers that represent us, the Black voting age. The Black population in different areas, Black voting age population. Those numbers you look at for a census, and the question that they ask you are not trying to be evasive or invasive. They are trying to ask you questions to get an accurate count of who lives here by saying this area predominantly is African American, over the age of 50, no children, and the majority of them own their own homes. So if you go to another area, they say majority of the people in this area are African American, maybe single moms under the age of 40 with children that under the age of 12, and they are renting. So that kind of give you an idea of each area and why it's very important for the census to be accurate, because when the funds come down from the federal government to be allocated to the different programs statewide, you want the right amount of funds to be there. And also it makes a big difference too when they ask you, do you live somewhere else? So you might have a permanent address. This might be a tricky one for college students, right? Your permanent address might be Mobile, Alabama, but you go to Toulouse College.
Right.
So in the summer, do you go back home or do you stay there? You stay at Toulouse College. So when you start doing your census, you look at the area where you live at, because you don't want to be counted twice. So you were counted in Mobile as being a resident there, but also you was counted at the apartment complex that you were staying with your frat brother. So you got to make sure that you give them the accurate information. I'm only here now, but my permanent address is in Mobile, Alabama. You know, so right. But that goes again to what we talk about voting where you live. You know, wherever you're going to be at that time, or you're going to be for a long period of time, that's your address. You know, and a lot of college students don't change their permanent address. A lot of people don't change their permanent address until they actually sometimes move into a house. Everything either go back to their parents' house or they have a P.O. box. That's for mail issues. But when it comes to census, they need to have an accurate count of where you live at and who you're staying with for that time period, so they know, not to double count you. Now, I know we have a list, an accurate list that was sent over. We have a little bit of information we want to give people to find out where we stand as Mississippians, right? For one, there's I think the link that I sent Chuck earlier. It breaks down and show you the numbers per state and also the numbers per county in that state. The average number for Mississippi is what, around 59, Chuck?
I'm actually pulling it up right now, Mac.
Okay.
Yeah. So give me a second to get it shared on the screen. You keep talking, and then we'll be able to give folks a visual of what we're referring to.
So I know I looked at, so we're right now, I'm in Jackson, Hinds County. I know the surrounding counties are Madison and Rankin. Madison County has a reporting percentage of around 71. And I think Rankin is right behind them at 68. But the number we need to be at least 80. So as an average, Mississippi, we are behind as an average. And we know that Mississippi is always at the top of the list of everything bad, at the bottom of the list of everything good. And we need to do our part by making sure that we complete the census, assist others with completing the census, help explain it to folks. I'm telling you, the census this year, especially the online process, it could not have been any more simpler by asking you the questions. It's very basic information they need to know. They just want you to give their information so they can do an accurate count. They're not asking Social Security numbers. They just need to know age of the child is there, and have that information in, the age of the person they rent or own. Is very, very easy information. And that's why it don't take a long time to do. I actually helped a gentleman. I was in Lexington this past weekend, and I was assisting with voter registration and filling out and completing the census. There was an older gentleman there. He had to be 70 plus years old. I stood out away from him, social distance 6 feet. And we were just over there by ourselves. No one else was there to hear the information. Collected his information. And then I said, okay, all right. He said, you done? I said, yes, sir. He said, you finished with me? I said, yes, sir. And he looked like
that quick.
It was that quick. It was that simple. But here's the thing about it, Chuck. The people in the community, one guy said, yeah, I did mine. Okay, I walked away. He turned back around in the parking lot. He said, come to think of it, I didn't. I was meaning to do it, but I didn't. So they just looking for, if those who know how to fill it out, and if you think it's easy, you don't have to work for the census.
Right.
But I guarantee you might not even know these people, but we all will be affected if we do not help folks complete the census and we get the accurate amount of numbers and the accurate amount of money that's needed for the programs in our area. We all are going to be affected. I'm going to actually, one of these shows, I'm going to show a clip or at least the title of the movie Crash, you know, kind of give y'all the idea to help you understand that we all are connected. And what one group of folks do will affect another group, especially when it's something when it comes to something like census and voting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got the information, 50 ways census data are used. Decision making at levels of government, drawing federal, state, and local legislative districts. Now, in the area where we are, we talk about this all the time. Ward 6, if you're coming down Raymond Road, for those who are in the Jackson, Mississippi area, Forest Hill is in Ward 6. The fire station across the street is in Ward 4. If you go down past the fire station, past Forest Hill, there go Ward 4 again.
Mm-hmm.
And we like, this makes no sense. If you don't like things like that, we must participate in the census process and also hold folks accountable when they are redrawing the lines. Attracting new businesses to state and local areas. So if you see population growth, sometimes we can have product and demand, and we can demand the product. You have states like Texas, where Houston by itself has over 6 million people in the city limits, not talking about the outer suburbs. I think it's Houston and Dallas are some of the fastest growing, maybe Austin too, fastest growing areas with African Americans. Well, we are growing the population there. Our numbers are growing there. Guess what else is going there? More businesses.
You're right.
So they have the data to say that their population is increasing.
Yeah, this is true, man. This is very, very true. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure that these 50 ways that census data are used is shared on the Mississippi Move website. That's msmove.org. You see the ticker following our conversation at the bottom of the screen. And we're also going to share this on the Nightcap Knowledge page. So if you're just tuning in with us right now, this is Nightcap Knowledge with Mr. Mack and DJ George Chuck, and we're talking 50 ways census data are used in our lives right now. And on the screen, you can see some of the things that are affected if we are counted or otherwise. So, I mean, one of the things I'm looking at is direct funding for services for people in poverty, which is one of the things that Mississippi Move has been involved in for quite some time. We've always prided ourselves in making sure that we do for the least of these, because I mean, we're one decision, or we're one thing away, or one action away from being on the side of needing help. So we always want to help those that need help. Designing public safety strategies, planning and researching media as backup for news stories. I mean, we know how important media is. That's why Black Window Chaser is what it is. We want to make sure that that we provide a source for news and for content and for information that is culturally relevant. So we're going to make sure that this information is shared on our Nightcap Knowledge Facebook page, as well as the MississippiMove.org website. So Mac, look, thank you for that. We want to make sure that we keep on schedule tonight, and we want to ask you to bring in the next topic, and our next topic is message in the music. Now, we had a conversation prior to the broadcast and earlier this week and late last week about what it means to have music that really speaks to what we're doing right now. Earlier today I released my In the Mix show, where I'm curating not only music, but I'm also curating a couple drinks as we partake in our nightcap for the evening. My nightcap tonight is brought to you by the good folks over at Jack Daniels. I got the Jack Honey.
Oh, so man.
Shout out to Larry Leggett for getting me my bottle of Jack Honey.
The legend.
The legend, man. For giving me my bottle of Jack Honey for this evening. And a lot of it didn't make it until the night. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But Mac, we want to talk about I see that McAllen. Is that a 12? Oh, that's the goal.
My birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Mac turned 40 the other day. So we definitely want to
really
give him another I mean, hey, it's behind you. We want to give you another happy birthday. But we want to get to, topic number 2, which is the message in the music and why it's important to have music that speaks to the movement and speaks to the people of the movement.
So we can think back as far as Africans in this land, which is called America, from Negro spirituals that was sung in the cotton field or during times of hardship, to when the birth of the blues was born, as a part of that process, right? We
Right.
can go on up, and as blues continue to evolve and gospels continue to evolve, we go through freedom songs during the 60s. Then through the 80s or the 70s, we have Black empowerment. We have James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, right? Late 60s and early 70s. 80s starting to evolve with rap, right? You start thinking about stuff, Breaking, Public Enemy, early 90s, late 80s. So we've always had a message because music is a universal language. And people are talking about their struggles. They're talking about things that we need to see. And it is broadcast through music, which has reached more people than me having a conversation like I'm having now. If I could sing it, then I'll be able to touch more people, because people, and when they talk about a tapping in, you can hear the music and you can identify with what that person is saying, either through personal contact or through someone that you know that have dealt with the same thing.
Right.
So we have a gentleman that we're bringing on the show tonight. Is he waiting in the queue, Chuck?
Yeah, he is waiting in the queue, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in, man. And I want you to introduce him.
Okay.
And none other than the legendary,
World famous.
Mac, you take it from there.
I call him Al Green Garrett 2.0.
Come on with it. Come on with it, man.
This brother, when you see him, I had to ask him, right? So Chuck, he's a PK also, like you.
Oh, man, hey, woo, buddy.
Yeah, never mind.
I'm gonna get you on another show.
So I was asking this bro, I said, man, you need to sing Love and Happiness is one of your cover songs. He's like, man, no, very humble brother, very hardworking. His songs have message. And you can feel that he put energy into it, that he put thought into it, and the brother is very, very talented. So we have Mr. Alvin Garrett, great brother. And he definitely lead the way with his music. His music has messages. Welcome to the show, brother. And he from Alabama too, Chuck.
Hey, Alabama all the way. I'm from Mobile, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Where you from?
Tuscaloosa, man. Roll
T-Town.
T-Town, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Look, my sister-in-law, she went to Stillman, and my brother went to Alabama. And I won't shame my brother and tell the story about how he almost got kicked out of Alabama.
Oh.
I ain't gonna tell that story on
That's another show. That's
a whole nother show. That's where that PK follow up.
Oh, yeah.
So we got the first video of Alvin. We're gonna play the video.
Man, this is what I don't want to play the video just yet. I wanted to lay out a bit of Alvin's background, man. Like, Grammy nominated and all of that. So I wanted to give Alvin's moments for the folks that are viewing with us right now. And we're on Black with No Chaser. And I also wanted to ask him a couple of questions. So Alvin, give us an idea of how does a boy from T-Town, Tuscaloosa, Roll Tide country go from dirt road to Grammy nominated?
First off, I'm slightly offended by you saying Tuscaloosa is a dirt road. Now don't
hey.
We ain't coming for no dirt roads in Tuscaloosa, baby.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I just know the dirt road because that's where I go hunting at. And I'd have been hunting right. Look, I know it's some out there.
It's we may have them, but we don't want to put it out there and brand Tuscaloosa.
Oh, okay. All right. He was urban.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I came up what I call true middle class. Daddy was a minor preacher. Hey, went to Central High School with everybody. You know, one poor, certainly one rich, right there, true middle class, man, where you got all the foundation that you needed to make out of your life what you choose to make out of your life. For me, you ain't got no excuses. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
I feel you.
I say I appreciate my upbringing, you know, with my parents offered me, and I've been able to go make their dreams come true through me by going further and higher than they could in their lifetime. That's what legacy is all about.
Right.
I appreciate that response, but you know I led you in that, right?
Oh yeah, you did.
Right. Yeah.
Set you up, now. That was the setup.
Hey, I'm cool with a setup. Goosh.
There you go. All right.
Oh yeah, but you know, man, just going to college in Birmingham. I played football in high school.
Okay.
Got a scholarship in Sanford University in Birmingham. Played linebacker. Got a business management degree. Always held on to my music, man. That was bass player coming up in the church. That was what kept some cash in my pocket, kept me moving forward, and ultimately became the platform for me to evolve into writing and production, touring, and all those types of things. But my aspiration as a writer was just always behind the scenes as I was playing my instrument, just producing, wanting to write, and of course, start off writing for, you know, artists that I could get my hands on. I was living in the same city, but then just kept on striving until I started hitting other artists, major artists who people know and love, and start getting placements as I developed my own artistry. And in 2015, give you a short version, I released the song By Myself, which everybody in Jackson knows and loves. If you won't stand with me, if you won't go with me, I'll go on by myself.
Yeah.
That was my single. And I think I hit #1 in Jackson for quite some time. So a lot of people in that area have shown so much love. To me, it's almost like what I call my second home in terms of, you know, Birmingham is my #1 supporting market. Jackson is a very close, very, very close #2 in terms of the love and support I get that I believe came from that song and subsequent visits to the marketplace. So I you know, Mac invited me down one time, man, and I absolutely love Jackson and the warm welcome that I get every time I come.
Yeah, man. Look, I was somewhere running around while, you know, Mac had brought you in doing something. Cause I ain't too far away whenever Mac is doing whatever Mac does. Cause
you be on them dirt roads. That's why he couldn't.
Hey, look, for a long time, like, man, and Mac and I have known each other since 1999. But Thanksgiving, Christmas, anytime I was going home to Mobile, me and my pops, we were headed to them dirt roads. And literally, and my dad was a pastor. Pastored in Mobile, Alabama, Trinity Gardens, Mobile, Alabama. Now that, you know, that's you know, asphalt country. All right. Now, you know, prior to a certain time, it was a dirt road. But when I was a young man, a little boy growing up, then that was asphalt. So when we left home, like, I grew up on a dirt road. We lived in the country. And then when I got older, we would, you know, continue to go hunting and things like that out in the country. But I did take a little time to read your bio. I just like to act surprised, you know, as the PK, you know, you try to, you know, tell the story.
Right.
But yeah, man, look, Mac, I want you to dig in for a second. I'm gonna get this video pulled up and then give you and Alvin a chance to catch up. And I want you all to talk about, you know, not only the song that we, you know, helped to push in Jackson, but this new song that we that talks about 2/5. I don't know if was a fifth. I don't know if that's the line of thinking. But there's another.
Say you ever get out.
See, you. I gotta put you up on game, man. See, they had you on the books as 3/5 for so long, you can't do the math. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
2/5, man. We fight for that equality. You know, trying to prove ourselves throughout history that we are fully human. We shouldn't have to do that.
Correct.
But that is what America and the system puts on us as Black Americans. We have to always. It's like we're working for our 2/5, right? Working to prove that we're just as good.
Right.
You know, so I just came up with that concept of you got me working for my 2/5 and just explaining the historical journey from slavery to where we are today, and the inhumane treatment, or the look, how America looks at us as something less, right? Simply because we're black, right? So that's what this song talks about, the realities of that, and saying I'm working for my 2/5. Why don't you see I'm fully human? And this really came to me, just through the COVID, spending time observing, of course, what happened with George Floyd. It's funny, if I give me a second to explain it. My neighbor, she's white, and she showed a real sense of sadness about George Floyd. And she's like, I just don't see how you can treat any living creature this way. And so it didn't hit me until I thought about it like days later.
Right.
Well, why would she say that? Like, she said, I couldn't see any living creature being killed this way. And I had to pray about that thing, because it sounded like, compassionate. And I said, well, any living creature? You can see, you okay with Philando Castile getting shot in front of his kids and bleeding out. I'm not saying her, but just generally. It's okay for that to happen, because why? He might have moved too fast, and that's why I put in the song, if I move a little fast, I might get a little blast, and you won't even try to repair me. So it's okay to shoot somebody, but it ain't okay to suffocate them with a knee. And I said, why does that hurt them so bad? And then I said, maybe it's because it's seen as animal cruelty. You know what I'm saying? There's a humane way to put an animal down. Just shoot him. Right?
Yeah. Right.
Just shoot him.
Right.
Now, take my back, put him down. Pow. You don't suffocate an animal, right? So it was this whole revelation to me,
right,
that they don't see us as fully human. Never have.
Nope.
They don't see us as, because you wouldn't say that about a white American being killed any kind of way. You wouldn't say it. You wouldn't make that connection that it's a living creature, right? We're human. We're God's children.
Right.
But she's not racist. That's my neighbor. That's my buddy. You see what I'm saying? It just made me think about the psychosis of it. And that's why I said, you got me working for my 2/5. Why don't you see I'm fully human? You know what I'm saying?
So I read a lot of stuff from a lot of greats like Dr. Amos Wilson. And so you got folks that are, we talk about involuntary racism and voluntary racism, and with systematic and cultural approach. And I know to break it down and start talking about, we can have social relationships, but when we start talking about business and profession, how do they look at things overall? And it's just why, as a system, why do people cast the ballots and vote certain way, even though they say they're against one thing? Just like the televangelist just said that, he made a comment that he said the Black Lives Matter movement is damaging Christianity. So because in their eyes, Christianity goes hand in hand with white America. So it goes back again, just like when people say about the good cop versus the one that, and I don't even call them. That should be another word to describe the folks that we see do what they do. They shouldn't wear the same name, as I said before, as the same people that run into a house to save somebody that's dying or risk their life. They shouldn't be called an officer. They shouldn't be called a cop or anything like that, right? They are terrorists. They are murderers. That's the title they should wear. But what you were saying is the song and the revelation that folks didn't. They knew about it, but they watched a man die in front of their eyes. He wasn't shot. It wasn't accidental. He was suffocated for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And he died right in front of everybody. And it's one of those things that you could not ignore, even though there was no excuse around it, right? Anybody ever did any hand-to-hand, any type of martial arts, anything like that, you have a person that's face down. So I posted the other day when it just happened again with the guy that was in the lift. I said, so if you say this is not a systematic issue, why do white men predominantly keep using this same tactic on black men when they put themselves into a false sense of authority? Law enforcement is the only false sense of authority that they can have where they could do stuff to us and we don't be in a position to fight back because it will be seen as breaking the law, and we'll end up in more trouble. You see what I'm saying? So that message, which you're helping understand it got to be different this time. It got to be direct action. It got to be some economic action. It has to be some political structure to deal with the systematic approach that has been used for years, because there's always been a way for those low-level impotent inbreds that can't get anywhere in high school. They're always picked on. They put themselves in a position where they can have some type of authority. And we are in a position where if I try to defend myself, the system is going to be flipped against me. Even though that you are doing unlawful acts to me, I can't defend myself, because then I'm going to get in more trouble. But it has to be different. This has been happening. It's been documented from the what we quote as the Emmett Till murder starting the movement. It was there then, and it's been happening before then. It's time. It has to be different after this. I think Chuck is ready for us.
Yeah, man. So which one are we gonna do first? I know we talked about
it's the man right there. Tell him which one he want.
Hey,
Alvin, which one you want to do first, bro?
The one that we just described.
After what we just talked about, man, let's rock out that 2 5th. Let them see it. Just drop that.
Okay.
To this Sunday, man. So let's let them see it.
All right. So introduce it for us. And give us that intro to talk it up.
All right. It's my new videos called 2 5ths off of my album, The Awakening. And it's playing here live on the Nightcap. Let's see. Music here. Hear that music.
Y'all hear it?
Turn it up a little bit, Chuck. It's low.
It's low?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. All right, we're gonna pause that one, and I'm gonna run it another way. This StreamYard, we're learning it. It's something new every day. Now I'm gonna do this like this. This is 2 5ths by Alvin Garrett. Y'all check it out.
I was born on the 13th, spit from the bosom of bondage, separated from my own family. All these chains are like umbilical cords around me. I'm dressed like a piano, got all my fingers playing sad notes to the drum beat of the railroad. Wondering why I'm the star of this show. Freedom, I ain't supposed to be like this. I don't wanna be free like this. No, not like this. I'm screaming freedom. Should be a house with a picket fence. But why they gotta do me like this? I'm on the books, it's only 3/5. You got me working for my 2 5ths. Tell me why don't you see I'm fully human? could I fight you if I'm toothless? I don't know how you could do this. You got me working for my 2 bills. Why don't you see I'm fully human? How about you say it from your pulpits? Tell everybody what the truth is. I'm a human. You tried to offend me. Tell me why you got to amend me. How long my smile gotta last? How many laws gotta pass for you to decide to friend me? You think I'm scary? It doesn't matter what I carry. Cause if I move a little fast, I might get a little blast, and you won't even try to repel me. Oh, freedom. I ain't supposed to be like this. I don't wanna be free like this. No, 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 no. Like this, screaming freedom. Should be a with a gift. What they gotta do I'm gonna put me on the working for my 2 bills. Why don't you see I'm gonna let you in? How could I fight you if I'm toothless? I don't know how you can. Working for my 2 bills. Why don't you see I'm gonna let you in? How about you say it from your head? Tell everybody what's I'm working for my 2
Man, come on.
Boy, that thing,
come on.
Man, listen. When that song right there, you think about everything that you see and hear. Why you look at us like we scary? It has a brother that broke it down about how they see us as a spider, right? And after a while, we started to see each other the same way. But there's a fear factor that was built up to see us a certain way, no matter what we really are. You keep seeing it. Anybody ever seen the what was that, Batman? When they had the character Scarecrow on there, and he had the hallucinogen dust. Yeah. Where every time he sprayed that dust, no matter what is approaching them, they saw nothing but a monster.
That's right.
And they get to screaming, and you're like, "What are you screaming for?" And you looking around, what's wrong? And they see you as nothing but a monster, despite who you really are at that time and inside. But I always talk about the psychology of it. It's like, what you're saying is not true. Carolyn Bryant, who came out and admitted that she lied about Emmett Till, never been brought to justice, and they actually been keeping her location a secret. She's been hidden, right? So she's still, but again, you pretend like you don't know, but everybody knew the truth then, and then she admitted the truth, and nothing still happened at all. But you keep 2 sisters in prison for 13, 14 years, and the only way one of them got out was the other one agreed to give the other one a kidney. All because they supposed to rob somebody, and the people that were supposed to rob testified in their behalf and said they didn't do it. But the judge was using that as a way to get back at their granddaddy. Yeah. This is the system. This is the reality, and it bothers me when our people, and yet as much has been happening, especially in the last 3 years, we still look at situations like, oh man, and it's just like it come up with an excuse why we all cannot be doing our part. You're doing your part. You can touch more people than I could ever touch with that song. If they would just stop to listen to it and actually tap into it and understand how it affects their day-to-day life and see themselves as if you are portraying in the music.
Yeah. It's you start talking about the message in the music, and I listen to, anytime I listen to someone as well versed and intelligent about, these topics. You said something earlier about how we begin to see ourselves, how they saw us, how we mirror
Right.
the image that was laid upon us, right?
Correct.
And I think that's where I'm more passionate because, being a preacher's kid, I say this, where it say, you got to take care of your own home first, right? You can't make your enemy love you. And let's just break it down to football. You're not gonna make the team that came to knock your block off take it light on you, right?
No.
In war, you're not gonna make your enemy have mercy on you. You can't make that happen. So let's say we can't make everybody that's done this to us. We cannot make them see us as fully human. But how if we start at home and say, well, why we see ourselves as 3/5?
Mm-hmm.
Why we see ourselves as nothing? Why are we doing to ourselves what the enemy does to us? That's where, for me, personally, because I was raised that way, like, hey, before you go telling somebody else to treat you a certain way, make sure you treat yourself a certain. Make sure your home.
Are you treating yourself as a whole person?
Yes.
Yeah. Because
ultimately, if you unified as a team, you got a better chance of winning against the team that came to knock you out.
Right.
So
are me, myself, and I together.
There you go. So
right.
I say control what you can control. And so there's nothing against the battle against all these systemic nothing against it, but we know what it is. We've been here long enough to know what it is.
Right.
How you gonna battle against it when you can't get your own self together? When you can't get your own house in order, when you don't even think that's worth a conversation. That's the problem I have, me personally, is that, yeah, we working for our 2/5, and we've done a lot at 3/5, right? Done a whole lot. We figured this thing out at 3/5, quote unquote, symbolically. But when we cannot work together, you can't get that 2/5 because they figured out how to work together against us. We ain't figured out how to work together to uplift us, right? And that is a fact because we bought into the lies that were told to us about ourselves. Right. And music, music is a major tool in brainwash that hypnosis and brainwashing us to see ourselves as not mattering. Okay. Hey man, how many ways can you say you're gonna kill another black man in a song? They got millions of ways to kill another black man dead. You call it 5. I don't even want to keep up with how many ways you can shoot somebody dead in the street in a rap song, or how many ways you can call a woman something other than something respectful in a black song.
Queen, sister, like all 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 of
this
stuff, endearment.
All of this stuff is cultural. It's brainwashing for this young generation who don't have a father like you had.
You ain't gotta say young generation. I mean, you can go further because we had a conversation on another show. It was around the WAP, and we know what the WAP is. That wet.
Yeah.
Right.
And my position was, men have rapped and referred to the female genitalia, as wet and all of this for a number of years. Like blues singers, hip hop singers, you can run the gamut. Rock singers, everybody.
Yeah.
All men have referred to the female genitalia as such, but then there's an uproar when the ladies turn a mirror in a sense with this song and say, hey, we're gonna say this. Now, my wife, she was like, oh, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. And I was like, baby, look, I understand. I know where you are, but I think it does something important in terms of advancing the conversation around equity and equality. Like men can say X, Y, and Z, and nobody bats an eye.
Well, I think the bigger challenge is for us, right? We are so connected to music as a spiritual people. Like we just connected to music in a way. Like I was actually in Jackson, Mississippi singing my song by myself.
Okay.
A brother ran me down, literally told me, man, he said, your song saved my life. So I'm thinking figuratively. He said, I was sitting there, had the gun cocked, I was about to end my life, and your song came on the radio. So your song came on the radio, said, if you won't stand with me, if you won't go with me, I'm going by myself. He said, I put the gun down. You saved my life. I cried. A song I wrote
had that
empowerment literally saved this man's life. It came on at just the right time.
Yeah.
Think about how many people have put in a rap song and
Indeed.
loaded a gun and played it, right?
Yeah.
Where that music empowered them to go.
Music has message.
Come on, and it has influence, right? And I would venture to believe that we are some of the most influential people, or easily influenced by music, to where, because we are also the most broken people in terms of having a solid family background, so to where like it actually is entertainment, right? Like I'm just listening to it, but of course I'm not gonna go do that.
Right.
Listen to the WAP. Okay, young lady, if you want to say that, whatever, but know not to go to your job acting like that. Can you tell the difference between this is just a song and this is not how you should live your life every day in public if you want to be respected? You know what I'm saying? That's a different conversation. You got a right to say it. Other cultures, I hate to say it, other cultures may look at it and be like, oh, we having fun, but I'm not gonna act like that in public. You know, I'm not gonna act like that on my job. What we are finding is that the generations, whatever, however old you want to put them, they are mirroring the behavior and the language in everywhere they go.
Emulating. Yeah.
Because my favorite artist said it, it's okay for me to say it. And I teach a songwriting class, and it's about this very thing. And I said, where y'all get the word thought from? I said, where'd that come from? But that's what they call women. Thought. I said, where'd you get that from? And they were like, I said, it came from a song. Oh yeah, such. I said, so it is now regular language for you.
Yeah.
And it started in a song. Like
music has message and influence. I mean, like I would not argue with you on that. The music.
But I think it's another thing. I think it's well, I'm gonna mess this up. But being able to separate and have that maturity level. Because now when I hang out, what I listen to, I can tell you what's usually in my truck. I am a UGK, A-Ball, MJG, anything Dirty South, No Limit. That's what I ride to. That's what I listen to. Turn around and listen to Muddy Waters and play Prince. You see?
But the difference, what I'm saying is the difference between you is you a well-rounded young fella. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
You're rounded.
Yeah.
But when you have the broken family epidemic that we have as Black people, because let's call it what it is, it's an epidemic in our community where young men. I sat in the class in one of my songwriting classes before for the pandemic.
Right.
8 students.
The actual pandemic started about 3 years ago.
Yeah, but I was the only Black male in that class who knew his daddy, who daddy wasn't in jail or who wasn't dead. I'm just keeping it real. They had all been to jail.
Right.
I ain't never been to jail. Let's talk. Let's. And they were like, you know your daddy, and it broke.
I don't have a problem either, Shane.
It broke my heart, bro. Like dang, like I'm the only man in this room who ain't been to jail,
right?
Who also knows his father. To me, that's the sickness, man. And
But you know what's missing though, and I always use this. We do a thing called man talk, right? We have a circle conversation, giving a safe space for men and young boys to have a conversation. And how we do that, the youngest person in the room leads the conversation. So when we go around and introduce ourselves, talk about whatever it may be, and actually Chuck was there when I first started. It's about 2009, 2010.
Oh, yeah.
That facility we were working at. What I tell them was missing, because I never knew my father, right? But see, that's why I act the way I act. Some people say I'm older because I grew up with my great uncles.
Okay.
Them old men, them concrete men, don't ask me nothing, don't do this, those type of men that said, stay right here, I'll be right back. That's who raised me. So I think what's missing is that people that's stepping up to take that spot.
Correct.
And I would just say they didn't have man talk, but what we had to get in the truck. Hey, the dad say, hey, Miss B, can he ride with me?
Yeah, yeah.
I get in the truck and go with them. Now, when you go with them, they ain't tell them what you're gonna see and hear, but you learn by having someone step up and being able to separate. Because blues songs been around forever, and they got a lot of stuff that was said, but we knew how to separate and knew what was able to be said and what shouldn't be said and what the reality was, because people lived the life. I think Gladys, there was your auntie Gladys Knight and Auntie Patty. They were talking about one of the songs about living the life in my song. BB King has a song that I like to live the life I sing about in my song.
That's right.
Folks are living the life that they're singing about. They might be talking about the hurt or what they went through or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what their experience was. That's, you know, NWA. They were talking about experiencing things that would happen to black folks in their area. But that's not happening to you. You're taking the message that you hear them talking about, what their experience,
and going to replicate it.
Yeah. So it goes back again to individuality. For one, starting with how you're taught and what you learn and your self-confidence that you're given. Knowing both y'all PKs. Y'all know y'all had friends that did stuff. And y'all know that the fear and respect that you have for your father outweighed whatever they could say about you. And you didn't do it, did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Now look, we've got one of our viewers out there, one of our homies from Tougaloo. Shane is saying, perfect scenario. Me and my future wife should be able to rap, slob on my knob, and wop on the way to a dinner party, act accordingly at the event, and then here we go. Act out those songs in the bedroom when we get home.
That's true.
So is he saying when you say act accordingly, or like act accordingly to the behavior or culture of the event, or
for the event
of the event, not act accordingly to the
song. Right.
Yeah, like all right, we're on the way to the dinner party.
Cut up in the car, be gentle lady at the event, and then go home and cut up.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Now you don't want to be gentlemanly in the bedroom with your lady.
Listen, what one of the pastors said, do you think I listen to gospel when I'm sitting with my wife? You know, of course they listen to some R&B, they listen to some soul, but the message, I think, is going back
Kurt Franklin while you and the wife trying to get in the mood.
Yeah. God's people, you're like, Kurt, would you shut up? You know, so I think it's one of those things that we got to do a better job as a society of educating, and like you said about influencing the music, because a lot of these brothers and sisters that start in this music business, they started out on that dirt road that Chuck was talking about. This was their way out. Yeah, you had selling dope, stripping, prostituting. Hell, if you didn't do all, that was your way out, and then music came. So even though you're rapping about it and you're not doing it no more, you're still influencing others that might be doing it. But that's all you know for certain people. Now we know, as we call them, the BET thugs, that they ain't never live a life like that. They only emulating what they heard other folks talk about, and they put it in their music. What's the guy name? The little dude with the tattoos in his face, Tekashi, somebody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tekashi 6ix9ine. Yeah.
What are you talking about? But that's some. But look who's he influencing. He has no type of connection that he didn't buy, and he's influencing. I understand what Alvin is saying. Some people are talking their story, telling their life story, and some people are just emulating what they think is popular and cool and what people expect out of them. That's one of the major things. Dr. Amos Wilson, identity crisis, is what you expect. Be who you are, no matter who you're sitting with.
Man, like I say, just from my experience,
that's it right
I'm doing, working with young people with my songwriting class. I work with a reentry program called the Dana here in Birmingham, and I teach my songwriting class, but it evolved into a therapy class. And like I say, young men, they've all been at some point involved with the law. And what I'm discovering myself through my experience with the way I formulated the class, there's no vulgarity allowed. No N-word allowed in my class. So all of that's gone. You can't participate if you want to do that. And I've had some rappers in, they got their own music. And I asked one of my students, and he's pretty good. And I said, hey, man, if somebody was doing a press conference and they said, yeah, man, I shot him up and I put on my man Najee, I was thinking about it, but he helped me get the courage to go do what I had to do. I said, how would you feel if you heard that your number one fan played your music to get the courage to kill somebody? You were like, no, man, man, I don't want that. I'm just talking about. I said, you sure you don't want to have the credit for encouraging somebody to do what they heard you say in the song? He's like, they ain't want no. I said, but that's what happens, right? That's what happens in real life. I said, you powerful, man. I said, so if you don't want somebody to give you credit for encouraging them to do it, write a different song. I said, write a different song. You powerful, man. You can influence somebody. Somebody listening to you, watching you be successful. Why don't you encourage that brother not to pick up the gun? Encourage him to put it down. I've seen this. I've seen too many, I've seen all of this, but I'm trying to go a different direction. Now that may follow your lead, but you in control of that. And he got it. That little brother, he leading the classes in prayer now. I didn't come at him with no gospel or nothing like that. I just showed him himself in a different way from a person he looks up to. So they look up to me. They like, why you here, man? You famous, you doing all this. Why you even care about us to come talk to us and teach us music and this stuff? So I'm not even preaching at them, but they get it. They feel love. And now they starting to change a little bit because I'm pointing and saying, man, just think about it, man. If you feel like it don't matter and somebody gave you credit for, as an artist
for something that you don't want,
if you okay with it, hey man, who am I to tell you what to do if you okay with making money and feeling like that's your way to fame? I ain't gonna argue with you because I might see you 5 years from now, you might be rich. How much money you made thus far? But how many people then been murdered emulating that lifestyle? Oh, I know plenty of them. You know plenty of people in your hometown who rappers who dead because somebody saw them in the street after seeing them on Instagram flashing guns and money. And they was like, so this happens all around in our neighborhoods where people emulating that rap style, like where the person they watching so high and so far out of reach, but y'all down here in the streets killing each other. So when you talk about messaging the music, I've chosen, me personally, to not ever make music or support music like that. Me personally, I ain't telling nobody else what to do, but the music I write is to encourage people, to get my story out, to lift people up, not just gospel. I write gospel and R&B. I put the good bedroom music together. I do all of that. But as an artist, I said, when people hear my music, I want to hear what my brother in Jackson said. Man, I put the gun down. That I was like, man, that's the best paycheck you could ever get, is to know that your music influenced someone to go on a better path with their life. And I still talk to that brother to this day. I check on him. He reach out to me. He say he follow. He said, man, I listen to your music all the time. Get me through some tough times. He lost his wife. I say, man, my heart goes out to you. But he said, man, but your music continuing to get me through these tough times. So
it's an old song. What was it that said, last night a DJ saved my life? You remember? So you think about, right. So you hear music, and you never know what you're doing and how it affect others. And that's what before you came on the show, I was telling Chuck, we were talking about the Census. I said, I have to show the movie Crash and understand how we are connected and how what we do affect other people that we might not even know. That's paying attention. Chuck, you got the other video?
Yeah, I do have the other video, but I also wanted to for us to take a moment to talk about and actually give an example of what Alvin has described. Shane, one of our friends from Tougaloo, and he's
Yard boy DJ.
Yeah, man. Like, we brought him up through the ranks. He came through the Yard Boy DJ Academy, and he's doing this thing out in Vegas now, still DJing all over the country, but also, functioning as a sports executive. But he's describing, he says that, what Alvin is talking about describes NLE Chopper. He says his vibe and his lyrics have shifted from violence to discussing mental health, eating right, and love for each other.
Come on.
Shane said he never thought he'd see it because he knows where this young man grew up in Memphis, and it's rough as fuck.
Yeah.
So, look, man, I mean, I agree that we have to be intentional. And that's what I hear Alvin saying, that he's intentional with his music. He's intentional with his writing, but he's also intentional with his time.
Right.
He's investing. And I had one of my older frat brothers to say this the other day. He's like, your legacy is shown, or this is how you can live forever when you invest in the people that you care the most about. So I think what Alvin is doing with his songwriting class is he's investing in the people that he cares about, the people that he knows that they need a little bit extra sauce on their barbecue to make sure that they can make it out the door into the next level of things. So man, we got to put the sauce on our community to make sure that we can do what we need to do, man. So Alvin, I want to give you a chance to say any closing words, to give the plug that you want to give, promote the music and everything, and we'll get that next song queued up.
Yeah, AlvinGarrett.com. I call it making music for the movement, whatever that movement is. Check me out, AlvinGarrett.com. On social media, The Alvin Garrett. That's Facebook and Instagram. My latest EP is streaming everywhere. It's called The Awakening. And I hope that's what my music does, is just awaken people to hear differently. And that's on both sides. I'll be honest, my platform is very moderate. I try to walk that line down the middle, show love to all people, and see things reasonably for the purpose of coming together for a common cause, because there are people that look different than us, that understand and that will do the best they can to be a part of us. And there are people that look like us that don't care at all. So it's about finding folks whose visions align with our interests of building better communities and having an open heart and mind. So that's what I try to do through my music. And so I appreciate you guys allowing me to come here and share it with your viewers, listeners, and supporters.
All right, here we go. We got Something's Different this time by Alvin Garrett.
You think by now we'd be through with this? You think by now we have this thing figured out? This one hurts a little different. Maybe it's the way the tears are falling down. They're falling a little harder this time. And this time they fall from your eyes. Maybe it's the way. Maybe it's the way that we all feel so breathless this time around. Oh, I don't know. All I can say is something's different this time. There's something different this time. Yeah. Something different this time. Yeah. Something is different this time. Maybe a change will come. But people are hurting. People are burning inside. Wondering why this keeps happening. Why this keeps happening? Oh, why? I ask you why? It takes so long to say that it's wrong when we die. We die by the hands that should only save life. Ooh, something's different this time. Different this time. I believe in my soul. Something's different this time. Something's different. Oh, something's different this time. Yeah. Oh, no. Something's different this time.
Yeah, man. Look, I almost tried to sing along with it, man. I had to turn my mic off a little bit, man. Look, I was gonna get like I heard what Mac was referring to, and he was like, "Man, you got that Alvin Al Green Garrett."
Yeah.
That's Uncle Al.
Something.
Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
Chuck played trap set.
Yeah, man. I came up playing trap in the church, man.
Oh,
not the trap.
Not that trap music, but the trap
out the bando. Nah, man. Look, I started playing trap set 5th grade. Started out playing the piano, then I saw the drums and moved over to the drums. I sang in the choir at Tougaloo.
Okay.
Shout out to and rest in peace and power to Dr. Kathy Castilla. I sang second tenor and baritone at Tougaloo, man. So look, I love the music. I can hear the artistry that goes into it. I appreciate the history that I can hear in your music, and I appreciate your intentionality with your writing and your time and what you're investing with those young people in Birmingham. So look, we gonna keep on pushing your music. You know, we've been doing it. It's been great talking with you. And look, you don't have to go anywhere. We got Mr. Max Mental Health Minute that's coming up, and we have our call to action, and then we'll get on out of here and let everybody go to bed. But Nightcap Knowledge is about putting something on your mental before you go to bed. You got something to think about. You can use this time to talk with us and listen to people that have a plan for their own life. I want to bring in Chadwick Boseman, like living your life 4 at a time. Like, what are you gonna do with the 4 days out of the week before Friday? What are you gonna do with the next 4 years of your life? In 4 minutes, man, you know, people play Madden 4 minutes at a time. That's a long time. What could you be doing with those 4 minutes? So I know that this brother Alvin Garrett, the last 4 minutes that you listen to that song, you can hear something in that. There's message in that music, and we want to make sure that we continue to bring that knowledge, bring that that nightcap, put something on your mental before you go to bed. So Alvin, man, thank you.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
Let's get to that mental health minute, man. What you got?
All right. Mental health minute, talking about loneliness and isolation. So you breaking those things down. We know due to COVID, we talk about things that have affected the world and society with the coronavirus. We know coronavirus itself has affected people mentally, for those who have contracted it or those who lost family members from it. But also we got to think about indirectly. How many people that are not able to go to their regular doctor's appointments, they are not able to attend different functions or have people come look after them. So when I say look after them, to understand as humans, we need touch, we need interaction. And there are a lot of people that are suffering with loneliness and isolation. They are there, they needing someone, they are in need of someone, especially those that are sick and those that are older. Understanding how their mental can affect their physical, and their physical can affect their mental. Not changing their diet, not eating right, they're by themselves, no one there to help coerce them and help them stay on track. They don't take their medication. Next thing you know, they start having different issues mentally, where they either have a UTI or something like that, where it affects their thinking and affect that affects them to be able to figure things out cognitively. Also, the mental can affect the physical by saying that how they are feeling mentally, if they're deeply saddened and depressed or lonely, they don't take care of themselves physically. They're not eating right. They are not they are not taking care of themselves and eating proper hygiene and drinking enough fluid so they won't get dehydrated, so they won't get a UTI. And so isolation, someone is by themselves, but they might not be lonely. They might have someone checking on and calling them or whatever. Loneliness, you could be around people and still be lonely. So we want to make sure that we try to help prevent that, especially for our seniors. We know due to COVID, we can't physically engage with them, but even if they're not your loved ones, check on folks, check on the people in the neighborhood. If you know that they are a senior community connected to your church, or if your fraternity, a sorority has a member of live in a certain community and it's predominantly older folks, check on them. If you don't have to engage with them, you don't have to go in their house, but put together a program or something where you can go by and check on them. Have them come outside, put together a parade. They just want to be recognized, and they just want to feel a part. And a lot of times they just want to feel needed. So loneliness and isolation, there's a lot more. It goes really deep when you start talking about this. But check on your people. Start at home, like Brother Alvin said. Start with the people that you know in your family. Make sure they're okay. Ask them questions. Just don't say, "Hey, how you doing?" If you know they have medical problems, making sure that they've been getting checked on telehealth wise, or if they have been taking their medication. And even if you can go by and check on them, if they have no other options, but take safety precautions because you do not want to get them sick or give them anything that you might have. But loneliness and isolation is a very, very, very real thing. And it's definitely even worse now with COVID. So we actually to make sure you check on your folks and do more research to find out more what I'm talking about. Call to action. Ready to roll into that, DJ George Chuck?
Yeah, man, we ready to roll into to that call to action, but I want to bring
action. Mississippi Move will be partner.
Before you do that, look, somebody's commenting on your very well stocked bar. So
the real Mac and Jackson, Shane O'Mac, the real Mac and Jackson. That's Shane O'Mac right there. Yeah, I got a few little things up here. Few little things. Got what's that? Blue Swift Martell. Got some Uncle Nearest and some McAllen, some Jack. Got some wines. Got a few little things that are on top of the table. Some that's on, got a few things.
So you got a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah. I do. I got a little bit of something. But that's what it's about. You stock it and you find out what you like, and then you keep it. So it's part of the nightcap. I think it's what you think, Chuck. You think I should keep it in the end? I changed the camera this time.
Yeah, man. I think it looks good. I mean, we do partake in in beverages.
Yeah.
So
and neither one of us going nowhere but down the hall. That's it.
I ain't even going down the hall. Like I'm like right there.
Oh yeah. You right there. I got to go down the hall. So so we're good to go. This is the environment. Nightcap Knowledge is Black and Uncensored. It's real talk, real issues, real solutions, and we having real conversation about things that affect us in a social, relaxed environment. You're gonna hear us curse. You're gonna hear us say some things. We're not trying to worry about catering to the masses. We worried about, as the brother said, one person hearing what we're talking about and say, "Hey man, you know what? I never understood that. I'm glad somebody broke that down." They talking about some real shit. They not trying to cover it up. I'm not running for public office. Chuck is not either. And so we're going to keep it real and say what we know from the experience that we have and the research that we've done on the things that we are talking about. And the question I always come back to, what are we going to do about it? So the call to action, voter registration, ongoingly. Register to vote where you live. I cannot say that enough. Register to vote where you live, know the ballot, know the capacity of the positions, know the capacity of the person that's running. Call the circuit clerk office, make sure that your name is on the ballot. On the roll, if you already registered. Contact 5 people to make sure they go to the polls. If they're seniors, help them get their ballots so they can vote absentee. And Mississippi Move has a notary, a mobile notary. If we need to come to you guys, let us know. Mississippi Move will come to you to notarize the information to make sure that you are able to cast your ballot, because this is very, very important. We are recruiting volunteers. You can email us at contact@msmove.org. We're asking people to help out the 2 weeks prior to the election. We're asking people to help out the week prior to the last day to register to vote, which is October 5th. If you can help us that weekend of October 3rd, or even next weekend of September 26th, we need boots on the ground. We're doing voter registration and getting information out in areas, as we say, that have high dropout rate, low income, and those who see a lot of high crime. That's where we need to be. There are people there that want to see change and they want to embark in change and participate, but a lot of times folks don't get to them. If you are in that area and you want Mississippi Move to come, we will show up. We will go. All right. So we actually make sure you participate. If you want to volunteer with us on election day and the day before, if you can take off, if you got enough energy to complain and you can take off and travel and do everything else and don't think this is important enough to take off, if you can, then you need to stop watching. Because we are trying to be a part of the change agent, and you got two options. You're either part of the problem or part of the solution.
Yeah. So look, there are a couple of things that I want to make sure that we highlight for folks. It's very, very easy to verify or to see if you are registered to vote, right? Mm-hmm. You can Google y'all vote, or you can go to MississippiMove.org. That's msmove.org, and we have links to the things like your circuit clerk, the Secretary of State, where you can find information. But here's a very easy thing to do. Now, this website is mse.gov.com. So it's basically, you can search y'all vote, or you can search am I registered to vote. You Google that, whatever. And if you put Mississippi in there, you'll get to this page and you can verify your voter registration. You can put in your county, type in your last name, last four of your social, your date of birth, and then you can search that and it will bring up your voter registration information, and you can verify that, and then you can find out where exactly you are voting on election day. Now, the other thing, Mac, did you talk about absentee ballots, early voting, going to the circuit clerk, things like that to get your absentee ballot?
I talk a little bit about that. And I was saying that can assist the elderly and the seniors with the early. So like September 21st through 26th, Hinds County, you can come in person to do your absentee. We'll have a process starting next week. We'll be assisting those who need it to get to the circuit clerk's office so they can do the early voting. I mean, not early voting, but the absentee in-person voting. So we are going to start that process. So if you know someone, again, that's in need of that service and need to get there, and they want to do it in person, then let us know. Right. If you don't feel comfortable in even going in person and doing it in person, then contact your circuit clerk office in your county and let them know your condition so they can make sure that they get the application out to you and the ballot. And then you can call Mississippi Move if you need someone to notarize the document. And the number is 662-205-6681, 662-205-MOVE, MOVE. And then you can also email us at contact@msmove.org or inbox us on Facebook or any other social media. We are here to help. If you don't say that nobody come to my neighborhood because they scared of the hood, well, I'm unlike them. I didn't grow up in middle class, and I'm telling you. So I've been somewhere everywhere. And I still go somewhere everywhere, and there's no difference, right? Yeah. There's no difference in the people. They're just different area codes and income brackets. We're all important people, and we are important because we were created. And your opinion, your vote, and everything that you have matters just as much as anybody that's sitting at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, especially in my. I ain't gonna say that, but anyway, we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about Agent Orange tonight, but we're gonna make sure that we got to do. And as a people, negative energy and how it manifests in your body and in your spirit, and you get so engulfed in negativity that you forget about positivity and the changes and things that you can embark upon. So when I'm saying that is we focus on so much talking about so much bad things or someone that's doing something wrong that we don't highlight the people that are doing something right or focus on what we could be doing to make things better. So let's stop giving the devil their due. Again, even no matter if they have orange hair or not. Let's focus on what we can do to be a part of the change agent and bring about some good things for our plan. Understanding that now, if you have children, the work that you're doing now is not just for your children. You are planning for your children's children. So you have a lot of foundation to lay, right? Our brother Reginald Thompson said at his mother's funeral that parents build the foundation for the children to build the house. Or they lay the foundation for the children to build a house. So, the foundation, as parents, now you're laying a foundation built on top of the cleared ground that your parents did for you. So that's where we are, Chuck. I don't think we missed anything tonight. I think we kind of winding down a little bit better.
Yeah, and I wanted to do two more things, Mac. One, thank you for your commitment to everything that we do as Mississippi Move, and you as the executive director of Mississippi Move. Man, it's a labor of love. We don't make a lot of money doing the things that we do in in the community. It's one of the things that we do because it's the right thing to do. So I want to say thank you for that. I also wanted to make sure that you had a chance to talk about Saturday, September 19th, supporting the community in Holmes County.
Holmes County, we have food box giveaway, voter registration, and census. Also, we are getting information out about COVID. We will be in Lexington at the fire station off of Highway 17, Rosemount at 8 a.m. We also will be located in Chula at the City Hall at 8 a.m. and then the depot in Durant. So 3 locations in Holmes County, and each location they will be giving out food box, they will be giving out masks, voter registration, and census, also with COVID information. So if you know anyone in that area, they desperately need it. Holmes County, you go on the list of census and look and see what we are for as reporting. We definitely need to get the numbers up in Holmes County. And like you were saying about going back, that's where I'm from. So it's 2 counties that go to the top of the list when you talk about fighting. That's Holmes and Hines, where I'm from and where I reside now. So I definitely got to make sure I can do what I can to make sure those 2 counties are taken care of.
That's right, man. So we definitely want to thank the folks that make this broadcast possible. We want to thank One Voice Mississippi. We want to thank Black Voters Matter. We want to thank Black Men No Chaser. And of course, we want y'all to go and follow Nightcap Knowledge on Facebook, IG, and Twitter. Nightcap Knowledge, man, is where we put something on your mental. It's where you come to have a beverage before you go to bed, man, and you could get your to-do list together for the next day. But Mac, I wanted to show you something that I did the other day, man. I want to get your take on. It's in the mix. I want to see what you think, man. Let me see if I can get this to play.
All right. That's not you, but
So as long as you've known me, I've always been a DJ, right? So as a DJ, you're always in the mix. So there's a perfect balance between folks at the bar and the folks in the booth.
Yep.
So you have a person that curates your music, and then you have a person that curates your taste in terms of things that you drink at the bar, in the club. Now we're at that point where we're drinking at the house. So this is why I wanted to do In the Mix. I get a lot of calls from friends, family members, and saying, what's something new I can try? And that's why we have In the Mix with DJ George Chuck. So today we're gonna make what I call a mixed up mule. It's my take on the Moscow mule. We don't want those Russian bots, right? So what we have is cat head vodka, the pecan one. We've got ginger beer, and then of course you got to have your copper cup for a Moscow mule, but this is a mixed up mule. So we're gonna we're gonna get y'all some ice. Gotta make sure it's cold. 1, 2, and we're gonna do 1 part cat head vodka. And then We've got our ginger beer. And we're going to garnish twist of lime. And we've got our mixed up mule. So if you're at the Live Oak Lounge, you want to get a mixed up mule, now you know how to ask for it. You got your cat head vodka, your ginger beer, twist of lime, give it a shake and a twist, and you're in the game. Now you're in the mix.
Yeah, man. What you think of that, Mac?
You cat.
Oh, cat, man.
Hey, I said, Chuck pouring with a jigger. I said, oh yeah. He measuring, he make sure he got it. Yeah, it's good, man. You know what that remind me of?
What's that?
You remember Bartender in Crowd?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, man. Larry was talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
He was supposed to call me today. But you know, legends have a lot on their plate.
Yeah. It reminds me of Bartender in Crowd when we breaking down recipes and coming up with different things. I think it's really good, man. I think you about what 3, 4, 5 months too late. We could have used that. We could have really used that. Somebody said, "What? I don't drink."
Somebody say she don't drink. Well, you drink water. I know how to mix water very well. I know
how to make some Shirley Temples. You know, I know how to make everything and leave the alcohol.
Hey, look.
Oh, Shane said we do.
Well, look, man, we want to thank everybody for tuning in right now. We appreciate all the views, all the comments, all of the energy that y'all have passed to us through the comment section. We want y'all to tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. as Mr. Mac and DJ George Chuck bring to you Nightcap Knowledge. And Mac, you got any parting words for him?
Only thing I can say is, if you are not doing something to change the things and you got a lot to say, damn you.
Right on to the real, death to the fakers, and we about that Mississippi magic.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Look, I'm happy to be a part of your history. It's these feelings that always happen to get to me instantly. I start thinking, projecting happiness mentally, like me on the ticket and you excited to get to me. Who the greatest? They mention me, and I'm their biggest fan. Always known to bring that bounce like I'm Timberland. They say they see me getting bigger, ain't that been the plan? Been across the nation and rocked. I'm Jackson's Jigger, man. I ain't a mirror created, make me lesser than. I promise to make it work, never perfection, man. Only way I'll stop is for a better plan. Till then I'm aiming to put some platinum on my letter, man. Never settle land, anxious I could never be. If you ain't all in, the best you could do is let me free. Cause either way, greatness in my path. Get some money just to split with my staff. Oh man, all I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happy. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happy. This that Mississippi magic.